What's up and welcome everybody to my channel. If you guys are watching this video, you are taking a look at a tool that is made by Hitbox. What I have in front of me here today, this is the Hitbox CT520 digital inverter multi-processor welding machine. This particular machine is capable of plasma cut, MMA, and TIG. The TIG side is both 2T and 4T when it comes to the pulse TIG. The plasma cut side is a pretty awesome feature when it comes to this particular machine. Now, with this unit is that it's capable of handling both 110 and 220. It happens to come with the dongle for the 220 adapter. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing set up today because I'm building a project to make a custom dolly to roll in my side-by-side into a toy hauler. That's this green machine right next to me. So this machine is going to get the first operation today on a custom project to get this guy built. Let's go ahead and get it set up. I'm going to go ahead and plug in this adapter here. Now, before I go and plug this in, I'm going to go ahead and flip around the welding machine. So it does come with a air pressure regulator on there and also with a filter, so that way you have a little bleed off if you get some moisture condensation in the machine. Now, this does have an overload protection plus a moisture protection, so if it does happen to have any of those symptoms, it will have an automatic shut off or shut down. Plug this guy in. Power is key. Next, you're going to want to take your ground clamp. Hook that up to your material or table, whichever one you're working on. Connect it to the item that you're going to be cutting or welding. Now, this is a 1/4 inch steel plate. This is the material that we're going to be cutting that I'm going to be demonstrating. Put this aside. Next, we're going to hook up our plasma torch. So, you've got your air nozzle line for gas. You've got your gun trigger cable, which is this guy here. You're going to unscrew that cap. Now, this trigger cable only goes in one way, so there is no physical possible chance that it will go in wrong. And lastly, you got your power. You're going to want to make sure that when you get this snug down that you have a good, nice, solid connection with contact on this red wire. Lastly, your ground cable is going to connect to the TIG cut positive connector terminal. This uses a Denso style connector. Twist that in place, lock it. And the only other thing that we have to hook up now is air. Plug this guy right into the regulator. Now, the parameters that I'm going to be using as far as for the air, I'm going to have this machine set for right about 55 psi. So not only do you have the air pressure regulator gauge that's on the back, you're also going to have a digital gauge that's right here on the front. That is going to be a little bit hard to see on this particular video because I have the machine outside. Let's go ahead and power it up. Now, the nice thing about this particular unit, it has an auto recognition with the voltage. So once you have it plugged in, when you turn it on, it's going to distinguish whether it has 220 or 110. Will not go wrong on this. My biggest recommendation when you pull this thing out of the box, make sure all the terminal connectors internally are good, snug, solid, and in place, because if anything is loose, you might throw an E05 code. Just a future tip. Now, my recommendation when it comes to using the plasma torch on this is that if you have this torch under the material where you're cutting, there is a good chance that you're going to put some burn marks on this hose. So when you're using it, the way that I use it is I put the hose behind me and I put the hose up over my shoulder while I'm cutting. All right, now we're going to get the safety material on. Welding helmet, protective clothing, welding gloves, and let's go ahead and get this nozzle straightened out. One thing I want to point out about this nozzle tip is I love the fact that it has a little metal guard or guide, so that way you have the right amount of height. So if you're unfamiliar with how to get your arc started, this thing's got a nice little lip, so that way you can drag it along the surface material while you're cutting. Cannot go wrong. So as you can see, I have the air hose over my shoulder with the rest of the line behind my back. Here we go. Start with this corner here. Alright, got a pretty nice clean cut there. And again, this is a 1/4 inch plate of steel. Well, for what it is and the price you get it for, it's a pretty awesome tool. Just need a little bit of cleanup and we should be good. So I'm going to continue on with this project. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think.